morning, everyone. It's good morning. Yeah, that's better. It's a great pleasure to see all of you this morning. Some very familiar faces. Thank you all for coming. It's a huge excitement for us to be hosting you this morning. So today is your day, and we're very happy to have been able to grace this occasion. Now, we've challenged ourselves in the office. I know sometimes we get too busy in running the business, engaging with you, but we've committed ourselves to be engaging with you more often. So at least every quarter, we'll try and make sure we have a business partners forum where we can update you on key changes that are going through the group. Also listen to you more. I know we interact on a one-to-one, but sometimes on a setting like this, you'll be able to get a more holistic view of where we're heading as a group. So to start, it's a very exciting time for the UAP group. We're all very excited by these changes happening. Of course, there are a lot of questions. Why this big transaction? Why now? Why Old Mutual? Why South Africans? Could we not get a partner from Europe? South Africans, we hear about them, we know them. And those are very valid questions. Now, what I'd like to assure you is that it has taken very long, a lot of reflection to identify a partner that is going to take UAP forward and ensure that UAP visions and aspirations are achieved. It was not an easy task, as James Mogoye has mentioned. It was a very huge burden among the anchor shareholders, and in their wisdom, they took a decision, and the decision was to identifying Old Mutual as a key strategic partner that will be moving forward with UAP. So what I'd like to do is just to spend a few minutes to put everything in the context, maybe take you through the background. How did Old Mutual come to be a partner? Why did they are the key investor exit? Did they have to exit if UAP was doing well? So everything happened for a reason, and I believe we are at a very good place. I've got a presentation which I've presented in a couple of occasions. So by way of background, so let's start with the shareholding. So what is the shareholding structure of UAP? As you know, UAP, and I think James gave a very good story, both James Mogoye and James Wambogo, in terms of the history. 10 years ago, UAP was a fairly small company. But the vision and aspiration of UAP through its anchor shareholders was very big. That's why some of us who are working with competitors in the industry were very excited by this vision. So we were requested to come and be part of the team that will assist the business going forward. That's why we decided, to come on board and, help in translating the vision to reality. So very humble beginnings. Company was established in the 1920s. Mid-90s, as you recall, there was a merger of two companies, Union and Provincial, to form UAP Provincial Insurance Company of East Africa. And then in 2000, in the mid-90s, UAP of France, hence the name UAP, was acquired by AXA. AXA is now a very huge financial services group in Europe and other parts of the world. When they acquired UAP Provincial Insurance Company of East Africa became part of AXA for about 4 or 5 years. But AXA decided to exit key markets in Africa, including in other emerging markets, in 2000. So from 2000, UAP became a locally owned company. And from that time on, we began a very active expansion to the region. So 2004 we entered Uganda, 2005 we entered South Sudan, and then fast forward 2011 we entered Rwanda. We had attempted to enter Rwanda 3 times, so we were successful the 3rd attempt, 2011, 2012. We also entered DRC in 2012 and Tanzania. So currently we are in 6 countries in East and Central Africa. Now, in 2012, if you recall, we did a public offer, and I recall meeting some of you. We did a presentation, and the public offer was we had brought on board private equity investors because the company needed funding to fund some key projects, including the expansion to the region, the property projects that we had in the region. So we brought on board 3 groups of private equity investors. That's Abraaj, they were then called Orios. We brought on board Africa Invest and also Swedbank. They contributed $55 million, which at the time was about 4.6 billion shillings. Much needed capital, which assisted the group to achieve a few things that we managed to achieve in the last few years. In addition to that, investment, we did a public offer, and some of you were kind enough to participate. So right now we're a public company with 950 shareholders. So as you can see from that graph, so the shareholding group is that we have anchor shareholders, who are the 4 key anchor shareholders. That's Dr. Wanjui, our chairman, through his company investment vehicle called Bawan. Mr. Mugoye is also an anchor shareholder after investing for a long period of time. We had Centum and Chris Kirubi, Dr. Kirubi, who is a well-known investor in this market. So those are 4 plus now the P investors. So combining the older stake of 87%, and other investors, yourself, other people in the market, some staff like ourselves, we owned 13%. So these are the shareholders for UAP Holdings, and UAP Holdings is the holding company for all the businesses for UAP. And as you know, our core business is in insurance, and as James took us through, we've tried to work extremely hard with your very good support, and I must say, without your support, we would not be where we are. So it's something that we don't take lightly, and we continue to appreciate. So insurance business is our flagship business, and we have insurance business in all our markets, investment management, and properties. So that was a structure early January. So I've taken you through the anchor shareholders together with the P investors. Now the P investors are short-term investors. I'm sure some of you have interacted with them. They invest money on behalf of funds. So their investment horizon is 3 to 5 years. So they don't come, and they're not long-term investors. Even the interaction with them, you get to know that these are short-term investors. But I must say that their contribution to the group has been extremely beneficial, including the contribution of the anchor shareholders, Chris and Centum. They joined UAP when UAP was very small. Centum joined UAP in 2011, and they exited 2001, and they exited 13 years later. So both the anchor shareholders who exited and the P investors have made tremendous contribution to the UAP group. So why did Centum and Dr. Kirubi decide to exist? I mean, if UAP was doing very well, which is the case, we're actually doing fairly well. We could do better. The markets which are in are very competitive markets, but I think as a group we continue to do extremely well, and we are very hopeful and very confident that we'll continue to do well with your support, of course. So Centum is an investment company, as you all know. They've been very much on the news. They embarked on a new strategy, going into new sectors. They made very heavy investment. I think some of you have seen the property investment they're making near Runda. It's called the Two Rivers. Huge investment. They've also entered into energy. They're one of the key sponsors for one of the geothermal projects. They've got the coal projects as well. So in light of this new change in strategy, they took the view that they need to exit some of the mature investments. And they took the view that UAP is a mature investment for them, having invested 13 years. And just to put things in perspective, I think they put about 167 million shillings, and I think when they exited about 5.2 billion. So you can imagine if you're in that situation, you've made fantastic returns, you're going into new sectors, it does make sense to exit investments which are mature. Now, Dr. Kirubi, as you all know, is a single shareholder in Centum. So they acted in concert and they took the same view. So their 23.3% stake in UAP was sold to Old Mutual. Now, when they decided to exit in early 2014, they were very clear in their minds, and of course, the board of also UAP Holdings were very clear. Whoever is going to be the new partner, whoever is going to now buy their 23.3 stake must have a fit, must have a common vision, and there must be a partner who is going to add value to the business. So there's a lot of work they did in 2014. They did an international roadshow. They spoke with a lot of people. Some of them, as James said, were very keen to invest in this business. And after a lot of discussions, engagement, collaboration, there was a meeting of the minds with the Old Mutual Group. I think the Old Mutual of now, and probably the Old Mutual of 20, 15 years ago, is very different. Right now, it's a team that is driven by very competent, I would say, African professionals, at least the people who are running Old Mutual Emerging Markets. I think one of them, CEO, is a Zimbabwean. So they struck a very good chord with our anchor shareholders, and they were identified that in view of the common vision, common aspiration to establish a solid financial services business in Africa, Old Mutual was the right partner. So they exited. I think on 7th of January they signed the transaction with Old Mutual. Following which, that was 7th January. So following that discussion, P investors, as I mentioned earlier, are short-term investors. They've invested in UAP now for 3 years, in April to be 3 years. They also took the view that, because the return they got is very strong. I think the IRR is in excess of 46% based on the price of 180. They made 3 times their money. So on average, P investors, when they make 3 times their money, they want to exit from that investment, return the money back to shareholders, to the fund, so they can now raise the next fund. So they saw this as a very good opportunity, and because now that UAP, we had identified a key anchor investors, they felt more or less they've achieved what they had set out to do, and they were very confident that Old Mutual will be able to drive the group forward. So they also entered into discussion with Old Mutual, and they agreed to sell the 36.3% stake in UAP to Old Mutual. So now Old Mutual is the new strategic partner to UAP with a combined stake of 60.66. So they are the single largest institutional investor. And this now opens new beginnings for the UAP group. Now, in terms of the transaction itself, the transaction, as Mr. Mugo has mentioned, is going through approvals by different regulators, including the Competition Authority, and it is expected around May, June, the transaction on the legal side will be fully completed. So, Old Mutual is a new partner. So what does it mean to us? The entry of Old Mutual to UAP is transformational for 2 main reasons. One, we now have a core strategic investor who has majority shareholding. And as you know, Old Mutual is a very strong financial services group. They have strong financial resources, a very strong technical ability. They are market leaders in the in South Africa. They're the leading insurance brand in South Africa. They are listed in the London Stock Exchange. They have operations in emerging markets, Asia, including India and South America. So this partnership is bringing together of 2 very strong brands, the UAP brand, which is a strong regional brand, and Old Mutual brand, which is an international brand and a leading brand in South Africa. So the bringing together of these 2 brands will be beneficial to UAP for many reasons. I think the key one, and as James highlighted, our aspiration is to be Africa's revolutionary financial services group. We want to lead on innovation. We want to lead on service to customers. We want to leverage on emerging technologies. We want to make sure that our engagement with yourself as our business partners is strong and seamless. And the only way we can do this is by continuously investing in different lines of our business. So now that we partnered with a fairly strong partner, there are certain things that they do extremely well in their markets in South Africa. They own a general insurance business called Mutual and Federal, which I believe is the 2nd largest in South Africa. James and the CEOs of other general insurance business have met with the team, and there are very good insights that we got from a general insurance business perspective on how we can enhance our business better. On the life side, Old Mutual is known for the life operation. As you know, we have a life business that we've been working very hard to continue to grow, and once again, thank you for your support. Our life business has grown. I think when I joined the group, we were number 11. Now we are number 7. The life operations in UAP and the life operations for Old Mutual will be put together. So that will create a strong platform and a business that will be number 4 in the market. And by leveraging on the technical insights, investment into new technology, we're very confident that we'll be able to continue addressing the needs of the market by developing new products, engaging with our clients through different distribution channels, and ensuring that the overall service that we offer is outstanding. Now, Old Mutual in Kenya have insurance business and banking business. UAP, as I've outlined, we have insurance, investment management, and properties. Also, Old Mutual has investment management. So the coming together of all UAP and Old Mutual will give us the opportunity to offer seamless service across insurance products and services, investment management, properties, banking. We now leverage on the banking platform that they have, and of course, stockbroking. So I mentioned earlier about the process. The regulatory approval process are currently pending. So right now what we've done, we've started engaging with the Old Mutual's team to see how we can leverage on the synergies between the two businesses. An international consultant called Bain & Company has been appointed to assist in the process, and this will be accelerated upon receipt of the necessary regulatory approval. Now, we are very alive to the fact that any potential integration has got benefits, challenges, and of course risk. So we are alive to all the potential risks, and everybody is working extremely hard to make sure that all the risks of integration are managed as best as possible to ensure that the business is not disrupted. But the overall view is that the UAP brand will continue, but at some point, of course, there will be a review, because now there will be two strong brands. There will be a review to see which brand now needs to be supported going forward. So as James said, nothing is changing. I think what we now need to expect is better things. We should be able to execute our strategy much faster. The investment we intend to make in technology should be able to fast track them. So we hope that we'll be able to see a seamless service from us. So we'll manage very carefully all the potential risk of integration with that will arise. So in terms of you as key stakeholders, so what does this partnership mean to you? Now, as I've outlined, this partnership, we strongly believe will herald very strong benefits to us, to both UAP and Old Mutual clients, by increasing the product range that we have. So you continue to receive better service from us, you continue to see new products that are emerging. We're going to work extremely hard on our distribution. I think as James Mugoyo mentioned, one of the areas which we're keen to work on is our distribution. We have a concept that we want to implement, a unified distribution model. And a unified distribution model, what it means is once we have our financial advisor or agent dealing with a client, he's able to engage with the client on the entire life cycle of needs. So rather than having, in the morning you have an agent coming to sell medical, at 11 p.m. another agent comes and sells general insurance, and then in the afternoon another different agent from the same company selling life. So we felt that it's important we have this single customer view. So one of the areas that we intend to revamp is our distribution, our agency model, to ensure that we offer similar service across all the products that we have. We're also going to leverage on cross-selling opportunities between UAP and Old Mutual to ensure that we give our clients the opportunities of products from the two institutions. And we strongly believe that this is an excellent and strong partnership that will also provide strong opportunity for career growth. Of course, staff, one of the people who gets affected by this integration. We worked hard with the Old Mutual team, and now it's becoming very clear that the opportunities for career growth are going to be strong. And we hope this will also help us to enhance the service delivery to all our customers and business partners. So in terms of the next steps, it's a good opportunity for us. The regulatory approvals will enable us to roll out the integration work plan quickly so that we can reap the maximum benefit of the partnership. We shall continue to re-engage with existing and new clients, both on the strength of this partnership. Continue to engage you in the event you have questions or you feel there are some areas we need to do better. Please feel free to give us feedback. I think those feedback are extremely valuable. So we make these things work. We are very keen to make it work. Integrations do have risks, but we think this is an excellent opportunity. So it's incumbent upon all of us to give it a chance. I think if it works well, it will be very, very good for our client and other key stakeholders. So in terms of questions and answers, we encourage open communication And any questions can be sent by the key business contacts at UAP. So in the event you have any potential queries or the areas that you have a concern, please raise it with your the key liaison that you have at UAP, or even any of our business leaders, including myself, so that we can provide clarities on on all the areas. So that's my presentation. That's the background about the partnership. And going forward, we want now to go forward strongly as a strong team, so we can take advantage of strong opportunities that we see in the market. We can also take advantage of delivering insurance product and services. I think what concerns us as a business is the opportunities are vast. With an insurance penetration of just 3%, there's a huge segment of the market that are not insured. And as an organization, we're very keen to ensure that the services and products we have can reach as many Kenyans as possible, as many East Africans, and of course, potential clients in the wider East and Central Africa region. So that's our vision, and with this new partnership, we work extremely hard to make sure that we achieve that vision. So thank you very much for coming, and we look forward to working with you on this exciting journey to realize the aspiration of us and also your aspirations as our business partners. Thank you very much.
At UAP, we enhance lives across Africa to deliver the dreams we all hold so dear. Insurance, investment management, property investment, and financial advisory. UAP, better, simple life.